It's about building trust. Hello! Welcome to the very first episode of the Strong Farm and Rural Shores Tools and Strategy for our Regeneration, empowering rural communities to drive economic growth, sustainability, and climate strategies for the new world. I know you missed me. After an 8-month hiatus from YouTube, here I am again. I've got the expertise, the innovative solutions we promote, and the creativity to develop economic strategies that can be applied in your community. Let's build together the path that leads to our planet's regeneration. So, let's get started! Come with me! But guess what? Strong Farm and Rural Shores is stronger than ever because I've got the expertise these past 2 months, the innovative solutions we promote, and the creativity to develop economic strategies that can be applied in your community. Let's build together the path that leads to our planet's regeneration. If it is your first time watching Strong Farm and Rural Shores, welcome! I am Mark Xavier, the internet's favorite rural and remote areas activist. I work to empower people and businesses to develop rural strategies focused on economic innovation and creating solutions that mitigate social and environmental risks in rural and remote communities worldwide. As someone who now lives in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and hails from Uberaba, Minas Gerais, Brazil, my research and development focus builds a bridge between these two incredible places, packed with authentic experiences. This content is global because Strong Farm and Rural Shores is designed to adapt to the realities of rural and remote communities across the planet. Let's regenerate our planet together, my friends. Can you feel the excitement? Do you want to know how I ended up here in Edmonton? This year, I faced many social challenges that strengthened my resolve and broadened my vision for promoting new ideas around stakeholder engagement. It is all about amplifying our voice and fostering the policies and guidelines essential to make sustainability and climate actions a success. Do you know what stakeholder engagement means? Or the communication tools needed to ensure everyone in the community participates? Did you know we need to include all vulnerable or disadvantaged groups in the stakeholder engagement process? What is the Grievance Mechanism and its impact on developing projects that address the social and environmental issues in our communities? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's learn together, okay? I want to hear your perspective and share new insights to answer your questions, okay? Today, I will bring some incredible insights on the most critical topic in the developing and sustainability, economic development, or climate strategy project. So, let's dive into this sea of knowledge without fear of being what? Guess what? Of being happy, my friend. Happy. Okay? In 2023, I was certified by the World Bank Group in the Environmental and Social Framework course. which gave me invaluable insights into stakeholder engagement. This knowledge was super important as I was wrapping up a series of talks, workshops, and research for the Altiete region in São Paulo, Brazil, where I had the opportunity to work on the stakeholder engagement in the rural and indigenous communities. Why was this knowledge so crucial? I will tell you. Okay?
Because knowledge empowers people, empowers those who lack access to high-quality information, to high-quality education,
enabling prosperity in rural and remote areas. Scientific and technical communication can be hard to read, to understand, interpret, and apply, not just for those in rural or remote areas, but for all of us. Even for the scientists and technicians who creates this knowledge, everything is new to everyone. Okay? If it weren't, okay, we wouldn't live in such an unequal world. Don't you agree? So let's get started. Come with me. I'm going to open my presentation now to illustrate our discussion today. Okay. Feel free to ask questions. You can drop them in the YouTube comments, on the LinkedIn post. Just follow the link on your screen. It's here, somewhere here, okay? Or send me an email with your questions. I will also leave our link tree in the comments, and you can fill out our form. And I will get back to you there too, okay? Okay? Keep calm. I learn from your questions, so don't hesitate to comment and share this video with your friends so they can join in as well, okay? Today, we are working through 7 questions. Well, I need to split this video in 2 or 3 sessions as we have a lot of content to share with you. But in this first subject of this podcast, the stakeholder engagement, we will work through 7 different questions. First one, what is stakeholder engagement? 2, what does stakeholder engagement mean? 3, what are the key stakeholder engagement tools for rural and remote communities? 4, who are the vulnerable or socially and environmentally disadvantaged groups? It's very important, okay? 5, what can we do to ensure everyone participates in community outreach? 6, what are the main strategies to include vulnerable and disadvantaged groups in stakeholder engagement? 7, what is the grievance mechanism and how does it impact the development of projects that affect the environmental and social issues of our communities? If you want to take notes, feel free, okay? I always learn by jotting down notes from videos and podcasts I watch and listen to. Grab your pen, pencil, paper, notebook, agenda, laptop, tablet, or whatever tools in nearby. If you can't take notes right now, don't worry, okay? Feel free to watch the video as many times as you like, okay? This video is available for you, for your friends, for your community, for your family, for your co-workers. It's made for everyone that wants to learn a little bit more about stakeholder engagement. What is stakeholder engagement? Let's talk about it. Stakeholder engagement is a process of identifying, understanding, communicating, and continually interacting with all the parties involved or impacted by a project, initiative, or organization. Stakeholders can range from customers, employees, suppliers, and investors to local communities, government bodies, and non-for-profit organizations or NGOs. Social enterprise can be inside this context too. The main goal is to ensure that the concerns, expectations, and interests are understood and considered in decision making, fostering cooperation and minimizing conflicts. This engagement is essential for the sustainable success of any project or business because it helps build trust, strengthen relationships, prevent misunderstandings, and align common goals. The key activities involved include 1. Identifying stakeholders, mapping out all the direct or indirect interest parties. 2. Analyze interests. Understand each stakeholder's expectations, concerns, and influence. 3. Communication. Creating transparent and two-way communication channels for feedback. 4. A lot of fingers on 4. Dialogue and negotiation. Build a collaborative relationship to address concerns and suggest improvements. 5. Monitoring and evaluation. Reviewing and adjusting the approach as stakeholders' relationships evolve and new challenges arise. Stakeholder engagement is a dynamic and ongoing process aimed at aligning a project or organization's actions with the needs and interests of those involved, promoting more effective and impactful solutions. I know, this sounds complex, but let's break it down into simpler terms, okay? Engaging stakeholders, meaning all the people and groups who have some sort of interest in or are impacted by what I am doing. Essentially, ensures that we are all on the same page, okay? This includes everyone from customers, suppliers, and the team, the local communities, and the government bodies. The key point here is understand what each person expects or needs and making sure those expectations are factored into the process. Let's go. First, I start by identifying who these people are. Who is affected by what I am doing? Huh? Who has an interest? Once that's clear, I work to understand the concerns and interests, aiming for a clear picture of how each stakeholder may be impacted or benefit. Then, I make sure to keep communication open. I always find a way to share the necessary information and, just as importantly, listen to what they have to say. This is crucial. Okay? This creates a dialogue where everyone can voice their ideas and concerns. By staying in constant contact with stakeholders, I can address issues before they become bigger problems. Over time, I adjust my strategies as things change and my relationships with these groups evolve. In the end, it's about building trust. Uh, Everything I am talking now is related to building trust and ensuring that what I am doing makes sense for everyone involved. Now, let's move to the second question. What does stakeholder engagement mean? It's a complex question, no? Stakeholder engagement refers to the process of active communication and interaction between an organization or project and its stakeholders. These stakeholders can be individuals, groups, or organizations directly or indirectly affected by the organization's activities, or they may have some form of interest or influence over them. The goal of engagement is to understand the needs, expectations, and concerns, promote collaboration, strengthen relationships, and ensure their opinions are considered in decision making. This process can include activities like public consultations, meetings, surveys, workshops, and discussions. It is crucial in sustainable development contexts where cooperation between various sectors, such as government, business, local communities, and not-for-profit organizations, is vital achieving positive and inclusive results. Shall we dive deeper into this topic? Let's go. Digging deeper into stakeholder engagement means understanding its importance, the best practices for implementing it, and how it contributes to the success of projects and organizations, especially in complex contexts like sustainable development, regenerative agriculture, and regenerative tourism.
Who are the stakeholders?
Stakeholders are all the parties that have an interest in or are affected by the actions, decisions, policies, or outcomes of an organization or project. They can include internal stakeholders that are employees, shareholders, managers, etc., and external stakeholders, customers, suppliers, governments, regulators, NGOs, local communities, investors, associations, environmental groups, industry associations, and even the media. In many projects, especially those with significant social, economic, or environmental impact, like rural or sustainable development, stakeholders can be extremely diverse. For example, in sustainable agriculture, stakeholders include farmers and rural workers, government organizations and regulatory agencies, and clients, producer associations, indigenous and local communities, environmental conservation organizations, and others. Okay? Why is stakeholder engagement important? Effective stakeholder engagement is crucial for several reasons. Risk management. Engaging stakeholders early on helps identify potential challenges or resistance, manage expectations, and minimize conflicts that could arise during project development. Transparency and trust. Engaging transparently builds trust between the organization and its stakeholders, enhancing the organization's reputation and fostering mutual support. Improved decision making. Dialogue with stakeholders brings different perspectives, experiences, and knowledge to the table. This leads to more informed and balanced decisions, increasing the chances of success. Legitimacy and accountability. especially in projects that impact communities or the environment. Stakeholder engagement ensures that organization acts actively and responsibly, promoting social acceptance. In sustainability contexts, engagement is even more vital as it's a collaborative process aimed at long-term benefits for all involved, from creating sustainable value chains to developing inclusive public policies. Let's talk now about stakeholder engagement strategies. To be effective, stakeholder engagement must be planned and structured. Here are some common steps and approaches for you. Identifying stakeholders. The first step is to map out who these stakeholders are. Not all stakeholders have the same level of interest or influence over the project. Therefore, it is important to prioritize those with the most impact or direct involvement. A stakeholder matrix, which classifies stakeholders based on their level of power or influence and interest, can help with this. Analyzing expectations and interests. After identifying stakeholders, it is essential to understand their expectations, interests, and concerns. Tools like interviews, surveys, focus groups, and workshops can help gather this information. Creating communication channels. The success of stakeholder engagement depends on creating appropriate and accessible communication channels. Interactions should be regular and transparent, enabling stakeholders to engage actively. Some examples include meetings and conferences, forums and roundtable discussions, regular publications such as newsletters, digital platforms, and online forums. Setting clear goals. Setting clear goals and objectives for stakeholder engagement is essential. Engagement should not be a formality but a process with tangible results such as improved project implementation and increased collaboration or support in public policies. Monitoring and evaluation. The engagement process needs to be continuous and regularly evaluated. Monitoring tools help assess what's working and what needs adjustment, ensuring the engagement remains effective and relevant over the time. I will give you now some examples of stakeholder engagement in different sectors. Let's talk first about agriculture. Engagement in sustainable agriculture, okay? In the context of sustainable agriculture, stakeholder engagement can involve farmers, governments, agricultural associations, and end consumers. A great example is the development of policies to support regenerative farm practices where farmers collaborate with scientists, governments, and NGOs to adopt technologies and practices that reduce environmental impact and increase productivity. The creation of biodigesters in rural communities is an example where engagement between farmers, the government, and technology companies is crucial for the project success. Engagement in sustainable tourism. In tourism, especially in rural and remote destinations, stakeholder engagement is key to developing projects that respect local communities and the environment. This involves engaging tour operators, local authorities, environmental NGOs, and local communities themselves to ensure that tourism generates economic benefits while preserving natural resources. Engagement in large corporations. In large corporations, particularly those with significant environmental impacts such as mining or energy companies, stakeholder engagement may include affected communities, local governments, NGOs, and environmental regulators. The goal is to ensure the company's operations have the least possible impact with ongoing transparency and dialogue. Challenges in stakeholder engagement. While stakeholder engagement is a widely recognized practice, it's not without its challenges. Okay? We have conflicts of interest. Different stakeholders may have conflicting interests, making the engagement process delicate. Mediation and consensus building can be difficult, requiring advanced negotiation skills. Superficial engagement. When organizations treat engagement as a formality without truly considering stakeholder input, the process becomes ineffective, leading to frustration and a lack of trust. And here we can include greenwashing on the context. Communication complexity. Engaging multiple stakeholders, especially in large projects, can generate a vast amount of information and opinions. Managing this efficiently requires a strategic approach and dedicated resources. Let's finish this video today talking about trends and innovations in stakeholder engagement. With technological advancements, new tools for communication and collaboration are emerging to facilitate stakeholder engagement. Digital platforms, artificial intelligence, and data analytics are enabling more dynamic and personalized interactions with stakeholders. In agriculture and tourism, for example, online engagement platforms allow all farmers and tourism operators to interact directly with governments and investors, fostering more efficient and effective collaboration. Moreover, the concept of collaborative governance is gaining traction, where stakeholders play an active role not just in advisory capacities, but in co-managing projects and initiatives. Shall we wrap up these questions and move on to the next? Stakeholder engagement is a continuous and essential process for the success of any organization or project aiming to create economic, social, or environmental impact. When implemented well, it can be a powerful tool for building lasting partnerships, mitigating risks, fostering innovation, and ensuring that benefits are shared equitably among all involved. This is particularly relevant in our Strong Farm and Rural Choice initiative, where effective engagement with diverse stakeholders is fundamental to achieving economic growth and sustainable development in rural regions. Next video, we will talk about the main tools for stakeholder engagement in rural and remote communities, okay? Stay tuned. Follow us on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You can follow us and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Please activate the notification, then you can receive all our latest news. And feel free to share this content with your friends, co-workers, colleagues, families, and everyone you know that needs to gain more powerful insights on stakeholder engagement. I am Mark Xavier. It was a pleasure to talk to you and share a little bit about my knowledge and some tools that I have been developing my whole career to bring solutions for rural and remote areas. Let's regenerate our planet together. Stay tuned. The second part of this class is coming soon. Talk to you soon, my friends. Have a wonderful, beautiful day or night everywhere you are. And feel free to drop at, in the comments your ideas, suggestions, or whatever you want to talk about this content we are talking about. Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye bye.